your journey can't have been kind of without any struggles. Have you had any real obstacles to overcome? What would you say has been kind of an obstacle for you?
Well, a lot of times I have been lucky, but a lot of times I have had cases of minor sexist aggressions or casual sexism that kind of blocked my path a little bit. So I remember a case of a project where my supervisor was very, very helpful throughout the project and kind of treated me a bit like a doll. He always thought I needed to be protected and needed to be like directed correctly. And I was an autonomous person, so but I did not know what to expect from projects. That was my first project. And a lot of autonomy was actually required of me, and I would have been fine with that. But the supervisor did not see me as someone that could have that autonomy. So he just like guided me too much. And in the end, he came to me and told me, well, you should have done more work. You should have done more things on your own. And I had basically no idea. And he, well, that was the point. He had not the same flexibility that he had had with my colleague that was a man. And I felt like, well, I could have done a much better job. And I've had a bad grade for this course, and I had a lot of people had this idea that I was like needed the help when I never really requested it. I just like following along and what I thought was a project, what I thought it was supposed to be like. And that actually made me think and made me really promise myself that I would not allow people to treat me like I needed help, like I needed someone to follow me so closely. So from that moment on, I always make sure that I told people I'm okay with working my own. I don't need you to tell me exactly what to do, explain to me the basics, tell me what is expected, and the rest I've come so far. I can take it on my own. So a lot of times showing this autonomy from the start has helped. And yes, just a lot of things like this, a lot of people that underestimate what I can do at the start, because again, I don't specifically look like the stereotype that an engineer is. And I've tried to fight against that to prove a lot of times, like for instance, if anybody is asking who can carry the table and I'm free, I'm going to be like, yeah, I'll carry the table, no problem. Sure, I have two hands, I have two legs, I'm lucky. So let's go. And a lot of times people are shocked, and there's just like so many little things that they think I'm not capable of or wouldn't be comfortable doing that I'm trying to break down one at a time. So overall, I have been lucky, but there's always going to be obstacles in the path, and
Yeah.
and I hope that's not going to be the case in the future, that these will be removed further and people just not need to do any steps more than what is required.
Yeah, I'm sorry that you've experienced things like that. That's it's not nice. But would you
No.
say that you've encountered many women in your career so far?
Well, absolutely. I mean, I have encountered a lot of people that worked with me or have studied with me. It's not the same level than we would have men, but I can
Hmm.
certainly not say that women are not present. It's just that a lot of times when they have certain steps like that or worse, even, I don't know, sexual assault or people going against them, harassment, etc., that makes it much harder for them to go further. But they are there. A lot of times they might not reach the same positions as men, which is sad.
Hmm.
And I hope that we can continue changing this. But I've had, for instance, I have a colleague that was with me in my bachelor. She's now doing a PhD in robotics as well. So I know that this is possible. This is still already happening. We just have to keep pushing it and make sure that this will become the norm for, so that people will be able to already have in mind that positions like this are filled by women, and
Mm.
that's okay, and that's normal, that's standard. Any two of the sexes or any gender can fill the position and still do the job well.
Definitely. I completely agree. And did you have like a role model or somebody that you can say you kind of maybe looked up to in the field, or somebody that you admired?
So not specifically in my field, I do have certain role models. So, for instance, certain professors. Well, one is Professor Hack. Actually, she was a professor in astrophysics, and she was really, really big in Italy as well. I actually met her once, and it was great meeting her. So she was a person that was uh, mm, very rational, and she's always been very good at her job. And I've actually, the second role model that I have is my mom. She's not in
No.
technological field, but she's always pushed me so much, and she has actually gotten her degree later in life at like about 50. And me and her were studying together, and we were doing the university at the same time. So we'd always call each other and say like, oh, this professor really is making my life difficult. And she'd say, oh, tell me about it. So definitely having her, it's always been great, and having her to look up to her, knowing that it was possible to get to management position, to prove your worth as a woman, that opened up a lot of possibilities in my mind, and always made me think that it was possible.
Wow. Yeah, it sounds like you were really lucky, especially with your mum being so supportive.